Hello and welcome back to Goswick Lane, the big head on Goswick Lane. The big head is not me, it's this guy over here, Genty Patel. Genty, what's up, man?
Good morning. What's up?
We have Sophie back with us. If you watched the last episode and you were left on a cliffhanger.
You were.
We were talking about videography. We were about to get into it, and I rudely interrupted Sophie and said, let's just do another episode.
Sounds good.
You were about to tell a story about videos or videography. You want to enlighten us now?
Sure. So we're pushing hard on videos. I mean, and this is on any industry, honestly. It's not just, real estate. It's any industry. I mean, just to promote yourself out there. I mean, we're talking about real estate will be your houses, and I was going to just share a quick story on that.
Yeah.
We had taken a video of a home, and it actually got bought out from Canadians just from looking at it on the web. And we were pretty surprised about that.
Really? So you made the video. Was it a vertical or a landscape video?
So we can make both. So we can do videos on, of course, the phone, which that will be more like a reel type.
Mm-hmm.
And then we actually use the camera to actually go out and take an actual 360 video of the whole house.
Okay.
Which that takes more editing, and that's more professional.
Yeah. So on that specific video, that Canadians bought that house, right? That was that from a vertical video?
No, that was from an actual video. Just it editing and everything.
And was it something that you guys posted that brought the Canadians in, or was it something that you guys gave to the real estate agent? They posted and then
it actually was us that posted it on our page because I think that realtor didn't get to post it actually.
Okay.
And they just seen it from ours.
That's awesome.
Wow, what a benefit! You just sold a house for somebody.
A lot of times.
I think you probably have a client for life. Was that one of yours?
Mm-mm.
Okay. You probably have a client. I hope that person keeps using you.
I mean, I've had 3 of theirs. I think it was 2 or 3 of theirs that have gone viral.
Okay.
With one just recently.
Give us the details. What was it posted on? When you say viral,
Facebook.
Okay.
My page on Facebook.
Your page as a reel or as a native video?
Photography.
Photography.
This was actually photography. I haven't had a video go viral.
Okay.
I am kind of working towards those reels because people kind of want their information. People are impatient. Yes. They want their information quick.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm doing the reels myself, which they're okay, I try to leave people on a cliffhanger that'll get them to come back to the property. I want to show them just enough, but not all of it.
Okay. What's the extent of the service that you guys offer for video?
What do you mean?
If I want you, let's say I want the 360 video. You talked about that. I call you and say, Sophie, I want a 360. I'm selling a house. I want a 360 video. Can I also request 6 reels?
We can do it all.
Okay.
I mean, you tell us what your vision is, and we'll make it happen.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And do you have pricing for that setup yet, or is it kind of something that you're feeling your way through right now?
No, so it's always going to work better if we do it together. So if we do the photography and we do the video, I mean, you're looking at $450 just to start off, to do, both. That doesn't include a reel. If you add up a reel, it's probably going to be like $75 to $125, just depending on how much detail we're doing on that reel.
Okay.
So I mean, per se, it's worth if you're doing a $500,000 house and we're charging you maybe $600, $650.
Okay.
I feel like it's worth the whole package.
There's so many more things that go into video than photography, right?
Yes.
So photography, we've got the camera here, or one of the cameras that they use. It's a Sony 7R4.
That's right.
It's a really good camera with a G series Sony lens on it, 12 to 24, and that's important for the 12 to 24 is important for interior pictures, right? Being able to get that full shot.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You can't go in with if you're new to photography, you can't go in with a 70 to 200 lens and get a good shot.
No, I mean, a lot of that too will be like, just showing the wide of the room. That's another thing I have learned from that. I mean, you got to make sure that the room actually shows that you can see everything in the room as well.
Very important to showcase the house, right? You take, and we're still talking about photography. You take that, you take the pictures, you take them back, you throw them in Lightroom. I'm sure you guys, or Lightroom or Photoshop, I'm sure you guys have presets that you built or bought that you use, right?
Yes, so the editors have all that. Yes, they do.
So that goes in there. Those are edited and popped out. Videos are a different story.
Yes, so videos I tell people to give us on not so busy time of the year. I would say we can have them out in 2 days.
Okay.
But on our busiest time, we're talking about probably a week.
And that's still very fair.
Yeah, I mean, because you get to post the pictures first.
Right.
So then I always post the pictures. I had one where I posted the pictures and then it sold before the video came, so I just posted the video anyways.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You have it.
You still have it, and you don't know that contract's going to be secure for the whole time. So it's just good practice in order to make money, you're going to have to spend money.
Yes. So you continue, this is a good point, you continue marketing until dollars exchange hands.
Correct.
Why?
Because if it's not working, then I need to do something different.
Okay.
That's my whole thing. If I'll walk in the office, jump up and down, scream, and say, I need to sell X, Y, and Z today.
Okay. Today.
So how am I going to do that? Am I going to call? It's been listed for a year. All right, so y'all got to take new pictures. These pictures are not working.
Mm-hmm.
Go take new ones. Or it may be fall, it may be spring, it may be winter. Just try something new.
Yeah. That's a good point. If something sits on the market for a while and a real estate agent requests that you take new pictures, what are some things that you're doing different from the first time?
So, it just depends. If we've already, are you saying if we already took those
If you already
pictures
took
and
some
then
pictures,
we come back, it's either going to be the lighting.
Okay.
That we have to, either work with the lighting, something maybe was too dark, in there or something.
Okay.
I mean, it's just given in a different perspective. And I feel like Luis is really good about that. If I tell him to go back, if one of the agents got back to me and said, hey, my seller want different angles or something, he's pretty good. And I'll communicate that with him and be like, hey, can you go back? Because he wants, different things.
Okay.
And I feel like he's just so good at that he just goes out there and.
They just did it for me. Very rarely do they have to, but they.
I was going to ask you, how often does that happen?
Well, I mean, per the seller's request.
Yes.
Really is where it comes down to. You have sellers that do care and don't care, and she's providing customer service. I'm providing customer service, and so that's one of the reasons why I have them, because I know what my expectations are for them, and what my clients' expectations of me are, and it just passes down the line. There's not a question of, Sophie's never like, oh, well, those pictures were great. No, she's like, okay, yeah, let me get Luis back out there. What do they want? Yeah. And then we're on.
I think that's a good point too. Is like you said, it's not a question of whether you guys did a good job or didn't do a good job. You did it. You did a good job, but it's like beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? And so if I'm not an out of town buyer says, I didn't really understand what this room felt like, I can't come and look at the house. Can we get some more pictures of it?
Right. And I always tell people, because people ask me for referrals, my referral that I'm going to give you does great for me. Your expectations are different, and your expectations are different.
Mm-hmm.
And so they do great for me. You may have different expectations. Same thing in that whenever I refer out, photography, they do great for me. I give them a lot of business. So it may not all be correlated the same.
Okay.
Makes sense.
We've talked about your expectations, Genty, and possibly, other real estate agents' expectations. Obviously, you guys know what he wants by this point. It's 8 years. But try to remember back to when you first started, or as you're looking at pictures that have been completed by these guys, what are you looking for? Or you might be able to help him out here. You're looking at those pictures to make sure that they line up with your expectations. What are your expectations?
My expectations are just that people, when they look at the pictures, they get a wow factor. They get to see the details. I don't want pictures that don't tell the truth, but I want pictures that are good. I want them to be able to tell how big the room is, how big the closet is, what do the kitchen countertops look like. I want to get those angles that other people don't get, and have the the choices because we get, as agents, pick which photos go in.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the biggest thing that they do for us is making sure we get the right shots.
And so that's kind of from a grand view, how do you guys execute that? Like, is there more details involved in like the certain specific height of the shot or, the angle of the shot or where you're, I know you're not the photographer, but you've been around your brother long enough to know, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, Luis is really good about taking a lot of pictures.
Okay.
And I think that's a lot. The agents like that a lot. I feel like just because there's, other competitors and stuff, they cut you out certain pictures, which I have worked. I have even, told Luis, hey, maybe we're too many pictures because then you have to take it to the editing side, and that's taking them longer than it needs to. So we've trying to work that out to cut some of that. But you have Luis that he just won't do his customers like that. He's still taking a lot of pictures, and we said 23 was going to be different, but
you really have to, because if you don't take a bunch of pictures, the problem that you run into is whoever's editing it, if they missed part of it, then you got to go back out.
So if you say, hey, we're missing one, you might actually already have it, right? How?
So normally, just to kind of give you an idea, normally he takes about 3 to 4 pictures of a bedroom.
Okay.
3 different angles, 4 different angles, just to make sure. Probably the living room, kind of about the same thing. So there's always different shots of everything.
Okay. So
a lot of times I use 2 master bedroom pictures, sometimes 3 of the master bedroom.
How many pictures do you typically put in an average listing?
I think that the MLS will only let us put 36 in, if I'm remembering correctly.
Okay. So you got a cap.
So imagine, a big listing like, the one that I have in Hallsville on Winding Way. It's, we got a bunch of acreage, pool, exterior, porte-cochere. Like it's hard.
Yes.
I have to pick 36 really good pictures.
What's your process in eliminating down to 36? Because of that property, you could have 100 pictures.
Correct.
That you have to whittle down to 36.
Well, I'll knock out the hallway ones. I'll knock out laundry, no interior garage. But, I got to get the pool shot in there. I got to get the kitchen in there, living room in there, master.
Face of the house,
and then back, overview,
So it sounds like you take what you know is your main shots first.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's my 10 shots I can't live without or whatever.
Right.
And then you start picking the best ones after that.
Mm-hmm.
When people...
Took some time.
When you're... have you done any research on the psychology of how somebody views a listing?
I do know that pretty much you get 2 pictures, maybe 3.
3 pictures.
3 pictures.
Before, so you got to grab them. If you can't grab them within the 3, they're clicking out.
We're so impatient. Our world is so impatient.
So I sometimes I do the front of the house. I do, if it has a pool, I'll put the pool in next. Then I'll go to like whatever the best feature of the home is.
Okay.
It's a kitchen or whatever.
So do you ever, like if it's a lake house, do you ever put a view of the lake as one of your top?
That's on my marketing side. And it's kind of the same way that works with him. If I'm promoting something or, just featuring a home in our Facebook, exactly the same way. On a lake property, if we have a really nice shot of that view of, just a water, like if there's a window and you could view the water.
Okay.
That's what we're going to
That's a money shot.
Yes.
We're looking for money shots to sell this house, right?
Yes.
Right. And you're looking to see if you can get that thing to go viral. And when the algorithms and stuff pick it up, it just takes those people just sharing it just right.
Yes.
And then
that means that thing is
right.
sold, right?
Well,
if something goes viral.
Not necessarily, but it does bring a lot of people to your page.
Mm-hmm.
And then since they brought it to your page, then you can invite them to like your page, and so it can bring your count up. And it's normally people out of state, and there are a lot of people that are moving to Texas, so
yes,
it just kind of works.
What's the main thing that brings customers, new clients to you guys? Is it obviously it's probably...
I would say our marketing, honestly. Okay. The word of mouth, but the same thing, marketing. and just because I'm just heavy on that. Just, I mean, every day I'm posting at least one home.
Okay. And that's awesome too that you have plenty of content. Like you're never gonna run out of content to post.
Never run out of content.
That's awesome. Now, would you say, you said marketing, to narrow it down, would it be Facebook or Instagram, or I don't know if you're on TikTok or?
No, so we haven't done TikTok. I'm mainly just Facebook and Instagram. You know, and it's crazy because I've been pushing on for us to have a website. Sometimes I push Luis that we need a website, but then I look back on it hasn't been needed. I mean, just the Facebook side of it, it's been huge on the real estate side.
What are you guys gonna do if? Is there a point where you want to grow and add another photographer, or are you guys good with where you're at?
So we have contemplated, and this is going to be like in the summer. I mean, in the summertime, that's whenever we have everyone, you know, pushing us, just like Jonty was saying, just because sometimes we really are about 2 weeks out.
Okay.
So yes, we have. We'll probably talk about it again this year, just because of the way that's been the past 2 years.
Okay.
So. Which, I mean, and that's kind of the thing, kind of looking for that. It's a hard thing just because just talking a little bit about our process, like our editors, we just had someone that started, I mean, and we don't let those pictures out without actually us looking at them first. So if it's a new person, I mean, you know, you had to train them, you had to do that. And all those pictures between Luis, myself, and Oscar, we review all of them before actually getting them out.
Okay.
So we take a lot of time on that, on the training part.
You're going to make sure that product you're putting out meets your level of expectations and what you guys have been putting out, right? When y'all started out, who did the editing? Because I would imagine you guys didn't have editors day one.
No. So when we started out, it was basically just Luis and I.
Okay.
Luis would take pictures during the day, and then he'll edit at night. He did.
That's a lot of work.
Yes.
That's a lot of work.
And then probably a year after, I mean, we were very blessed, honestly. Probably like a year after, he sat down with me and he said, hey, either you're going to have to start editing or, you know, we're going to have to, you know.
He said, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done doing both jobs.
It's hard.
I don't blame him.
It's hard.
Yes. And I just knew it. I'm just not the type of person that can sit down. So I was like, no, we gotta expend.
Okay. Last question, unless you got something to add, Genty. Somebody out there is super interested in photography, specifically landscape real estate photography. What is the biggest piece of advice that you'd give them starting a business?
Well, that's a hard one.
We can break it down if you want to.
I mean, you got to know the market, honestly. I feel that that's a huge thing. You have to know the market. You can't just go out there and just expect a lot. So you got to sit down and really research your market. I feel that that's a huge thing.
And there are a lot of people that try to jump into the market thinking that it's easy because they see somebody like me, you know, right now I have, I think, 32 listings. And so they'll reach out and I'm like, it's not as easy as you think. And it's not as profitable as you think because
unless you're really good at it. And
you got to be
process.
You got to be really good at it and you got to have a good process. They're doing great and profitable because they've built this, you know, photography empire and they know their clientele and they cater to that business and they have a system that works. Same thing with a realtor seeing that I sell a lot of real estate and think they can just jump in the shoes and it's easy. It's not. It's hard and you got to work hard at it. And they've, you know, both of them have put in the work, just what she said with Luis doing day and night, and she's working and scheduling and marketing.
That's it. It's a common thing to think that you can just jump in and, you know, if I'm charging $150 a pop and it takes an hour or two and I can do 6 houses a day and make good money doing that, like, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. And all overnight successes have about 10 years behind them of hard work and dedicated effort. So we appreciate y'all joining us today. Sophie, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We really appreciate you and are thankful for your insight on the industry and thankful for the product that you put out.
Very thankful for the product and everything that you do for me and the other realtors, our fellow realtors. So thank you for coming on today.
No, thank y'all both for having me.
Yes, ma'am. All right, LLS, Real Estate Photography and Video. If you need work done, these are the guys and gals. Call Sophie and the boys.
That's right.
Sophie, that should have been the name of the company.
Sophie and the boys. They'll get it done for you. Hey, remember, love God, love others, and let your work reflect that. If you're enjoying this content and you want to hear more of it, you can find us on YouTube and Spotify. Hit those buttons, share, help us hit that algorithm, and we'll catch you on the next one.